Hello and welcome to Mindset and Muscles with Amanda. I am your host, Amanda Ferlisi. Thank you for listening. Welcome back, or welcome if you're a new listener. So, I don't know if you're watching this, but right now I'm in our home office that I painted this nice pretty blue. All of our diplomas, degrees, the whole shebang. But so if you're watching, it's a little messy, so disregard. But anyway, welcome back. I'm happy to get back into the swing of things. I know it's been quite some time. It's been 5 months. Holy. Is this thing on? I literally have not recorded a podcast because every time I sit down and try to do something, like I'm pulled in 15 directions. But here we are. I'm sticking to it. And welcome back. Welcome to the podcast. So, first things first, I wanted to discuss what's been going on since May. I left you guys in North Carolina. I was on the beach, happy as a clam. I just love the weather. I love when it's warm. I love being on the beach. It makes me like, it's just like one of those things. Like some people like the cold weather. I don't know. I like the warm weather. So that's where I left you guys. I recorded a podcast talking about, are you happy or not? So let's fast forward to the end of May and update you guys on all the things. If you're watching, like the main thing. So I got engaged. I got engaged to the man of my dreams, Maurizio. I love you so much, times infinity and beyond, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna get emotional, you're gonna get emotional. But, so in May, we traveled to Miami together. Now, mind you, I knew that I knew that Maritza and I were gonna get engaged and gonna get married. Like, that's always been like the thing. Like, I already knew that. I just didn't have any idea when. So we got to Miami and, Maurizio was really busy. He was training for a new position and I was busy just figuring out my business and working and training virtually. So I just had like no idea. When I tell you no idea, like literally no idea. Like it crossed my mind like a couple times. I'm like, no, he wouldn't do it while he's training. He wouldn't do it while, we're traveling. Like we're big into family and like, being around family. So he's gonna do it when we're with our family. Like I don't, whatever. My clients literally were like, Amanda, get your freaking nails done because I know you don't do that. Go get your nails done just in case. I'm like, okay, fine. God forbid I post a picture of my engagement ring without my nails done. They're all chipped right now because I just got back from another vacation. But we'll start with the engagement. So in May, the end of May, I'll actually just talk about the exact day. So May 29th, one of the best days of my entire life. Mauricio planned like a dinner. He's like, oh, we're gonna go to the best sushi place in all of Miami. And if you know me, sushi's literally my favorite. It's my favorite cheat meal, my favorite meal to go out to eat. Like it's just my thing. And prior to going to Miami, he told me, he's like, make sure you pack like a couple like really nice outfits. We're gonna go out to a really fancy dinner. And this isn't out of the ordinary because we typically go if we're traveling or on vacation or whatever. We'll go to like a nice dinner. So, okay, cool. I brought a nice like black dress and I brought a white romper. I never wear white, so this is also like odd. But anyway, so I told myself I'm not gonna get choked up. Let's see how long this lasts. And so we went to the beach for the day and Rich was like, listen, I need to be on my phone a little bit. I'm doing some work, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no problem. Do what you gotta do. Like, I'm just gonna lay in the sun and just be happy because I'm just happy. Like, I'm perfectly fine. It's like 85 degrees, sunny, living the dream, laying on the beach. So then I'm like, wow, he's like really on the phone a lot. Like, geez, that's ridiculous, but whatever. We get back to the room and I'm like, Marisa, I really just like want to take a nap. I want to lay down. Like I'm exhausted, And he's like, no, like we have plans. We're going to get sushi at this place, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, Marisa, I really don't want to do my makeup. Like I don't want to do any of this right now. I don't want to get dressed. And he looked at me, he's like, get up. We're going out to dinner. And I was just like, okay. You never really like force this, but that's fine. Took a shower, washed my hair, and you know, girls out there, washing your hair and doing your makeup is just like, I just don't want to do it. But whatever. So he has like a full-blown like white and tan 3-piece suit on, and I brought a black dress and I brought a white romper. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna match you, so I'm obviously gonna wear white. And I'll literally never forget, I'm not like the fashion person. I don't really know, like I'm like, oh, I guess that looks good, like whatever. Marita will always tell me I look beautiful. So I FaceTime my best friend Courtney, and I was like, Court, do these shoes match? So I had like 2 pairs of shoes, like white and tan, whatever. So I FaceTimed her, and she's like, oh yeah, the white ones. And I had no idea Maurizio was like in the background doing like this, like pointing, like whatever. So he texted her and was a ring. So just a cute little tidbit about it. But anyway, so I get all ready, I put my makeup on, do my hair, and I got a white outfit on, and he's got his suit on. So we get in, he's like, he kept saying like his stomach was bothering him. I'm like, all right, you okay? Like what's up? Like almost like he was nervous. Again, I still didn't think anything of it. And so we take the elevator down, we're walking. He's like, we already talked about this, but he's like, I want to go see the sunset. I was like, yeah, 100%, let's do that. That's gorgeous. Like watch the sunset on the beach and then get picked up and go out to dinner. Great, love this. So he's like, all right, we're gonna walk along like this. If you've been to Miami, there's like I don't know, like a little up pathway along the beach, and you can walk. So we're walking, and we're holding hands, and his hands, I'll never forget this. His hands were super clammy. I'm like, Marita, why are your hands so clammy? Are you okay? And he's like, I'm just really hot. And I'm like, oh, all right, well, cool. Also, he told me I couldn't wear my Apple Watch. I wear my Apple Watch everywhere. It's not like fancy, whatever, but I usually always wear it. So I was like, clammy hands and I can't wear my Apple Watch. Okay, cool, whatever. So anyway, we're walking and we get to like one of like, I don't know what it's called. You get to like one certain point and you can walk like onto the beach. And he's like, oh, take a left, we'll go onto the beach. I'm like, Marisa, I'm wearing heels and I got a nice outfit on. You have a suit on. Why do I want to walk on the beach? And he's like, just do it, it's fine. I'm like, oh, all right, sure. So this is where it happens. So we're walking into the beach, and I'd probably say like 10 feet onto the beach, I noticed like this red carpet, this like these flowers, and I'm like, and I can hear music. I'm like, now mind you, I'm literally so like thrown off that I have no idea at this point what's going on. So also I'm holding a clutch, and I'm like, there's a reason why I'm saying that. So anyway, we start walking towards this red carpet. I'm like, Marisa, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? What is this? And he's just like almost like speechless. Like he can't even like talk. And I'm like, what are we doing here? What's going on? What is this? Oh my God. So we start walking down this red carpet that's all rolled out. I don't know how long it is, maybe like 20 feet. I'm not sure. And there's my favorite color, rose petals on the side, which are like an orangey red, because one of the first roses he ever got me, actually, I believe it was the first rose he got me, was he wanted the rose to look like the colors of Reese's, and Reese's are like my favorite food. Also, if you know me, you know that. So yeah, it was literally like orangey, reddish rose petals along the red carpet. And then it opens up into this big hat that's like formed out of rose petals. Now, mind you, I'm walking down this red carpet. I'm like, Marisa, what are we doing? What is this? Meanwhile, our song is playing in the background, and it's still like, I'm like, what's going on? What is this? And he's just like smiling at me, and I could like legit pass out. So all of a sudden we get to the end of the red carpet where it opens up into like a hat, and he gets down on one knee. I drop my bag. I'm shocked I didn't fall over and pass out, because that's kind of like where I was at. And he said, I love you so much, will you marry me? And I was like, yes. Started bawling my eyes out. There's like iPads recording us. and all of a sudden I hear screaming. Now, mind you, this is in front of everyone at the beach, so anyone that like was on the beach saw this, and I was like, oh, wow, quite the audience. But no lie, I started hearing screaming, and I look over to my left, and it's his family, and I literally had no idea that they were there. And it was his sister and his 2 cousins, and then all of a sudden his best friend from left field ran over, and like, it was just like one of those moments where you just, like, the world stops and you just are like, wow. Like, never, I can't emphasize this enough. Never in my life, sorry, phone call, apparently it still works when you put it on airplane mode. But I can't emphasize this enough. Never in my life did I ever imagine being in those shoes, being the person to be proposed to, like fall in love and just be happy. Like, it just seemed like such like a fairy, like a thing I see in the movies. Like, this isn't my life, this isn't gonna happen to me. And then I find the man of my dreams, and boom, he does the fairy tale things, and you're like, wow, people like that exist. And they do. He's my fiance, so back off. But yeah, so we had quite the night. I mean, I was just so happy. I can't even, like, honestly, I don't even know if there's words. I just was so happy. And like, I love his family so much, and like, they're incredible. Like, I don't know, like, his sisters, my sisters, cousins are my cousins. Like, we then went back to the room and we called everyone. Like, I FaceTimed my parents. I'm like, Papa, I'm engaged. And he's like, I knew it. Obviously, because Maurizio asked my father for permission, as any good man would do. But then we FaceTimed all of our friends, our family, and like, there's a lot of tears, a lot of happy tears, and just, it was just like a whirlwind. Like, I FaceTimed my best friend, my sister, everybody. And then we got back to the room and we relaxed, and then we went out to dinner and actually did get sushi at one of the best places in Miami with his family. And it just was something that you see in a movie. So if you follow me, you've probably seen the photos, or I haven't posted a video just because, like, I don't know if I want to. I mean, I can. I'm not joking on this, but it's just such like a memorable moment to me. I'll never forget it. And just like seeing how happy he was and how happy he makes me, just like, that's it. I found my person, he's my person, and we're getting married, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. Like, even like if I'm having a bad day, or like, I don't know, something bad, like, I'm just so happy. Like, I know I talked about this a lot on my last podcast, but like, I'm just happy. It's just like a feeling that's never gonna go away. So that is my engagement story. That was literally the most requested topic that I talk about on my next podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. But I am going to move forward into other things that have been going on. So that happened on May 29th. So we are getting married. I'll talk about what's been going on with work, and then I'm going to segue into where we just came from and all that. So over the last few months, I've had an outdoor boot camp that was really fun and really successful. I did that on Saturday mornings. I just want to thank everyone that, supported me doing that. It was really fun to do because I used to run like a small group training type boot camp class back before the world ended, and they fired us all. So thank you. I've also started another business, a massage business. So I have a massage business that's only on Sundays for right now, just because of the availability of my massage therapist. I've been working on a clothing line and rebranding. So I love Ferlisi Fitness. That is my name. That will forever be who I am. But I'm looking to rebrand somewhat into other things, other businesses. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I've also been looking at potentially moving into a space for my studio amongst other businesses. So super exciting things happening. Just to be able to say that, like, hey, yeah, I'm looking at places because I'm gonna put my business there, or I'm gonna open up this business. It's like, it's just like one of those things. You're like, wow, like that's my life. Hello, like I'm a businesswoman. I own a business. It's a roller coaster of emotions, but we're here for it. So again, back to do what makes you happy. This is what makes me happy. So where did I just come back from? Holy my God. So we just came back from Italy, literally on Sunday. So we want to get married in Italy, in the Amalfi Coast, where I could say we fell in love in the Amalfi Coast. I fell in love with Maurizio probably like the moment I ever saw him. So we're just gonna put that out there. But we want to get married on the Amalfi Coast. We potentially have found a spot. But we just did like a whole Italy trip where we looked at a bunch of venues in the Amalfi Coast, in Sorrento, Amalfi. We went to Positano, but we didn't look at any venues. And then where else did we go? Napoli, we saw his family, some of his family, and then we went to Rome. Wow, I just love Rome. I mean, I love the Amalfi Coast. Like, you can't really like go wrong with the Amalfi Coast. It's gorgeous, it's romantic, it's beautiful, the flowers, everything. But Rome is so old and has so much history to it too. You're just like, wow. Like, let me just look at the Colosseum. Let me look at the Forum. You're just like, what? We also drove through Pompeii. Wild, literally wild. Like, it's just. I literally saw like an oven still like there, like built, like it's just like there from the eruption, which is kind of crazy. So we just came back from Italy on Sunday. I think my jet lag is gone. I slept so much within the last 2 days that like I think we're good now. So wow, Italy. I will say traveling right now, quite the shit show. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of all of that other than like it's just kind of crazy if you want to leave the country, and then if you want to come back into the country, it's equally as crazy, if not worse. So just plan ahead for that. I'm thirsty. I just had like a double espresso. Oh, also in Italy I have an espresso like every couple hours, and it's like fine. I'm just used to it. So now like every couple hours I have an espresso. Could probably have an espresso and go to bed. But back to it. So what's to come with upcoming podcasts? So I will be having interviews with people. I have 2 lined up. I also will be having a segment. I don't know the logistics of it yet, but I've mentioned, I believe, that I'm a firm like believer in like physical therapy, taking care of your body and things like that. I have a lot of close people to me that are physical therapists. One that I worked with in the Back Bay that I trust him with literally anything. So like even now, if I have a question, like I'll text him or call him like about a client, and he'll help me out. And he's just like a great resource to have. So he will be on the show as well. And I will be talking more about, the ups and downs and ins and outs of being a business owner, because I just think that's the most that I do in a day is like business and how to run a business, how to schedule clients, how to like start new businesses, how to be successful in one business, how to, concentrating on one thing at a time for me is very, very difficult. So I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm training people. Oh yeah, like let me go just start this business over here. It's like, it's kind of crazy, but I just think it makes things very exciting, a little stressful, but quite exciting. And obviously we'll be talking about fitness. Fitness is my passion. That's why I'm here. That's why I have this podcast, is because fitness has been the constant therapy, happiness, just like the constant in my life. No matter what, there's always exercise for me, and that's what I'll always relate my podcast back to. So I'm gonna actually wrap up this podcast. I know I talked about what I wanted to talk about, my engagement. I am so happy. What has been going on the past couple of months and coming back from Italy, and then what is to come. So short, sweet, to the point. If you like this podcast, please subscribe, and thank you for tuning in. I really and truly, from the bottom of my heart, I can't express this enough. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen or to watch my podcast. You know, it takes a lot to sit down and just like talk, because I can talk to anybody, but just to like sit and talk about like myself and like life and things that are going on is pretty tough and it's challenging, but we're here for it. I'm doing it and figuring it out as I go. So I truly appreciate your support, and I will talk to you all on the next podcast. Thank you all.